Chelsea cannot stop winning. They just can't stop winning. 6 wins in a row. And in the Conference League, they are able to make so many changes and just destroy everyone in their path. 8 goals, 4 goals, 4 goals, 3 goals. They look absolutely insane right now. I would bet my house on them right now, unless of an absolutely catastrophic illness goes through the Chelsea camp. They will win the Conference League with absolute ease. And it is a blessing in disguise. They're able to rest key players like Caicedo, Sancho, Palmer, Fofana, Cucurella. The depth Chelsea have got, the amount of young talent on display they had, the likes of George, the likes of Guy, other players like Chukwuemeka who are trying to make an impact. Tosin Adarabioyo got a run out as well. Akipong at right back. Dewsbury Hall as well. They looked really good tonight. And look, I understand it's the Stania. They are nowhere near the level Chelsea are used to playing at. But they did face something that they're not normally used to facing. And that was up to minus 12 degrees weather, which is absolutely insane. We are going to get into it. Make sure you go down and drop a like. That would be greatly appreciated. If we get it 200, that'd be amazing. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are just under 400 subscribers from 33,000, trying to get as close to 40K as we can this month. So your subscription would be greatly appreciated. Chelsea win 3-1 away against Astana. These were the lineups. Jorgensen looked really good other than the goal. You know, some really good footwork from him. Veiga, of course, on the score sheet. Left back, Disasi and Adarabioyo, you know, a fairly comfortable display from them. Other than the goal, which was just a moment of absolute brilliance from Thomas Off. I don't really think no one in the Premier League really would have expected that. I mean, the standard of Premier League is a lot faster, but you have to give huge praise to the finish from him. Akapong as well. I think he's on the verge of signing a new contract with Chelsea. I'm probably going to butcher a lot of these names, so I do apologise in advance. Of course, Dewsbury Hall got an assist tonight. Chukwuemeka playing in that 10. And is it Raki Saki or Raki Saki? I think it's pronounced. And Neto tonight, we'll get onto him because he's my favourite player to watch at the moment in the Premier League. He's just an absolute joke. The explosive pace he has got, the decision-making in the final third. We'll get on to Neto in a minute. Guy, of course, tonight, 2 goals for the youngster. And George, who, let's be honest, probably should have had 2, maybe even 3 goals tonight. He looked really good. A number of opportunities for him. I was impressed. Like, I think Chelsea at the moment are, I'll be honest, they're going to blitz this Conference League. They look unstoppable in it. You know, this lineup, you look at the amount of players they've got on the bench as well. You know, their substitutes, you know, practically all of them academy players. You know, Mykhailo Mudryk, Reece James, and Fofana all missed due to injury. And Mykhailo Mudryk has really benefited from this competition. And a lot of these Chelsea players that you're going to see right now in and out of this competition, I don't think some of them won't make it into that Premier League squad just because of how good it is. You look at someone, for instance, like Chukwuemeka, he's predominantly normally playing as a 10 in this system, unless Cole Palmer or Nkunku, or they've got Fernandes who can play there. Like, he's probably going to be loaned out. And a lot of these players, of course, very, very young squad that Chelsea are building. But everyone laughed at them and called them £1 billion bottle jobs. Everyone said that Todd Boehly is just playing Monopoly. And I personally couldn't really see the plan that Chelsea wanted to do. But I take my hat off to Todd Boehly, because a lot of the players that they've signed throughout the last year or so aren't really going to play and dominate at Chelsea. It's predominantly more selling these players on for a higher value, getting them into the team between the age of 16 and 18 in and around the squad so that they can classify them as an academy homegrown player, then selling them on in and around the Premier League or around Europe. Like, it's a great model that Todd Boehly has adopted and taken on since he has been at Chelsea. But it was an absolute mismatch tonight. You know, in sub-zero temperatures, you know, to keep 100% Conference League record of winning games, you know, basically Maresca's Chelsea have confirmed that they will be heading into the next round with a very, very healthy points total. They're going to qualify with absolute ease, an expected XG, of 1.19. They looked really good. I'll get on to Pedro Neto in a minute because I think this guy is, absolutely insane. Like, absolutely insane. Do you know what? We're going to start with Neto because, he got the second goal was from Neto, which was basically, was it the first goal? It was the first goal. When he's in these 1v1 positions, I don't think there is another winger in the Premier League as of right now that's decision-making in terms of when you're in that one-on-one near the byline. He skins any fullback in the Premier League right now, let alone in the Conference League. The decision-making, the fact that he can go on both feet, the fact that his pace is just exceptional. And he's done that a number of times where it's just one touch and he is away. You think back to the Newcastle game where Chelsea won 2-1. Cole Palmer on the turn plays that pass. I think it's Dan Burns going in for the tackle. That touch, brilliant. The decision making across to Jackson in the back of the net. Does a similar thing tonight. Gets down to the byline, straight across. And there is Guy to get the final touch and get it over the line. That's the second assist of the European campaign so far this season. Chelsea in absolute domination in this game. Absolute domination. They're 3-0 up inside 40 minutes. I think the third goal come from Veiga, Dewsbury Hall header. And as Joe Cole said, it's right in commentary. It was Park defending. It was absolutely diabolical defending from Astana. But taking nothing away from Chelsea because they looked really, really good. And it's a Chelsea side that no Sanchez, although Jorgensen is a pretty good backup goalkeeper. No Cucurella, Fofana, Badiashile, no Gusto, no Casado, Lavia, Palmer. Of course, Neto played, but no Jackson, no Sancho, no Madueke. And all of those players will be fully fit come the Brentford game on Sunday, which is going to be a tough test because Chelsea, as of yet, have not beaten Brentford in the Premier League. But it's a blessing in disguise. Excuse me. You look at Arsenal last night, right? Played the Champions League game as well as Liverpool on Tuesday, as well as Man City, right? As well as Villa. Look at us. Look at Astana. We play Rangers. All of those teams I've just mentioned have got to go with a fairly strong, if not their strongest possible squad. Chelsea are in a position where they can just rest Cole Palmer, rest Nkunku, rest Madueke, or whoever you want to talk about, and they are fully fit for the next game. These Chelsea players are basically playing one game a week. And Chelsea fans will be very optimistic that they will be the first team in the Premiership to have won the Champions League, the Europa League, and the Conference League, to have the full box ticked off. They are absolutely destroying teams in the Conference League, and you would expect them to, but I still think you have to give them huge credit. They've scored 21 goals in 4 games. We were in the Conference League. We didn't even get out of the group. Of course, it was a different format then. It was group stage, but, I don't trust Tottenham in a lot of these away games. I don't trust Tottenham tonight. Whereas Chelsea can afford to go out there and make umpteen amount of changes. Fiorentina are a good side. They've lost so far in the Champions League. Vitória from Portugal are a fairly established side. Liga Warsaw at the moment, they've scored 11 goals more than anyone else in the Conference League. And yes, I know people are going to say, look, it's £1 billion they've spent. See if there's any other. We know Applewolde, Cypriot side. We know Heidenheim from Germany. Shamrock Rovers, of course. Hearts from from Scotland. Not Celtic. Real Betis. Real Betis are an extremely established side in La Liga, and they're currently sitting 20th. Copenhagen, Ghent. There are some fairly established sides out there. Molde, Panathinaikos, who Chelsea have already spanked. They look at Lask, Istanbul, is it Bishaka? Is that Dynamo Kiev? There's a lot of established teams in the Conference League, and so far Chelsea look unstoppable in it. And when you get to the latter stages and the likes of Nkunku, the likes of Cole Palmer come through, they're going to win this with absolute ease. But Pedro Neto, for me, is my favourite player to watch in the Premier League. He has got absolutely everything, obviously outside of Spurs players, in terms of the decision-making, the pace, the fact that so far this season, he hasn't picked up an injury where a lot of players in that Wolves side, when he was there, were playing every single week, so he picked up a knock. The fact, I don't think you'll see Pedro Neto really play against Brentford come the weekend. I think you may say Madueke come in. And look, it's a selection headache for Chelsea and for Enzo Maresca. But when you look at the teams they've got coming up, they've got Shamrock Rovers next Thursday, in which they will go out there and absolutely blitz them at Stamford Bridge. And like I said this the other day, and I'm going to say it again, I don't know, looking at these run of games Chelsea have got, where they're going to lose. I really don't. Brentford will be a really tough test. You know, Brentford are a good counter-attacking side, you know, with Wiesel and Buemo, both on 9 goals so far, but their record away from home is diabolical. If this was at the G-Tech Stadium, I'd think, you know, Chelsea have got a really tough game. Ipswich away, they'll batter them. Crystal Palace away, they'll batter them. And the same team that played tonight will probably play against Shamrock Rovers next Thursday, and it will be the same team that played against Brentford will play against Everton, Fulham, Crystal Palace, and Ipswich, and then the same team that played against Shamrock and Astana will probably play against Morecambe. So then they've got a fully rested side against Bournemouth on the 14th of January. But look, so far so good for them. You have to give them credit. You know, I know people are going to say, "Oh yeah, you're only playing Astana. You know, it's only the Conference League." I'm not really like that on this channel. I try to give a fair assessment and look at what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing right now is a Chelsea side that has got goals galore. 4 against Spurs, unfortunately. 3 against Villa. 5 against Southampton. 3 against Astana. 8 against Noah. 2 against Leicester. 2 against Heidenheim. 4 against Panathinaikos. 4 against Ghent. 4 against Brighton. You know, 3 against West Ham. I think they're on over 50 goals already this season, which is absolutely nuts. Make sure you go down and subscribe to the channel and like the video. That would be greatly appreciated. We will be most likely doing the Man United game. I'm going to try and fit it around my dinner. And then, of course, Tottenham play Rangers later on this evening, in which is an absolutely massive, massive game for us in the Europa League. So make sure you stay tuned and look out for that. And I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Adios. Au revoir. Bonsoir. We are